Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? See me? Everything? Oh, I've already spilled my water. Good start. All right, somebody let me know if you can hear me. Water. All right, so I take it you guys can hear me, which is awesome. Thank you so very much for joining me tonight. This is actually only my third ever live stream. So welcome to the third live stream. And as you could tell from the name, this is a thank you and a congratulations kind of celebration for hitting 10,000 subscribers this morning. It happened like at 2 a.m. I was asleep. But so thank you so much. I'm probably going to say thank you like 15, 20, 30 or more times for each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel, for showing me the support that you do. Yeah, it's really exciting. And I'm just very thankful and humbled by everything. So thank you. I'm going to do my best to keep up with the chat. Kind of the plan tonight is I'm going to feed this tank. I already have the tilapia kind of cut up, so we'll feed them. You'll see the red tail kind of go nuts. That red tail is absolutely massive. And then I want to talk about just kind of some of the plans that I have. I don't think I'm going to keep this live stream up on the channel past tomorrow. So if you guys are watching it now or you kind of catch the replay a little bit later, I'll probably reveal some secrets and reveal some stuff that I have in the works. I'm really excited about what I have going on, and I want to share it. So if you're in the live stream, you're going to get some of that kind of behind the scenes information on things that are coming up. So thank you to everyone that's in the chat. I see a lot of congratulations. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for being here. We're already up to 44 people, which is just fantastic. And Daryl, thank you for the $10 super chat. That's fantastic. I really appreciate you. You comment on so many of my videos. I see in there all the time. So thank you, Daryl. We had a super chat earlier too. So thank you to him for that as well. Let's see. So kind of just, we'll start with some questions. I'll probably feed these guys in a little bit. You can see the big old red tail just cruising by down there. So go ahead, kind of ask some questions. Like I said, I'm going to be open and just kind of reveal some insider secrets. Let's see, kind of looking. Alex wants to know how Mush is. Mush is fantastic. He's right off camera that way. He's doing great. I need to do another kind of video focused on him. People love him. He jumps out of the tank to take food from my fingers. And yeah, he's fantastic. Mush is an amazing fish. I'm very fortunate to have him. So I'll be doing kind of an update on him. Let's see. Mel Hawaiian Peacock, thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. Another Southern Holler Outdoors wants to know what's my most expensive fish. Oh, man, that's tough to say because I buy a lot of fish. Most individual expensive fish is this guy, actually. That is that 26-inch African lungfish. I bought him at that size. If you haven't seen that video, he is 2.5 feet long. He was $200 from the store, but I worked with them since they had him for so long and got that price down a little bit. But right now, the African lungfish is the most expensive fish, followed by probably the gulper. The gulper catfish, which I still have. He was the first video I ever did on my channel. The gulper catfish would be my number 2 most expensive. Let's see. I see some more people in here. King Queen Cichlids is in here. Cove's in here. Down the wormhole. Thank you, everyone, for all the congratulations. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see what else. If I miss your question, I apologize. Keep spamming it. I'll get to it eventually. So I see a couple of people talking about the largemouth bass. You guys killed it on that video. I can't even. That blew me away. So for those of you that don't know or haven't seen the video, I went to a subscriber's house. He had a bluegill that was getting beat up, was looking on the verge of death. We took him home and we brought him back and put him in that pond there. In that video, I asked you guys to hit 300 likes, and then I'd go out and catch my own largemouth bass. Well, I just checked before the live stream. That video is at 1,700 likes, and it's been up for like a week and a half. So I think it's safe to say you guys crushed the 300 likes. I'm just trying to find a spot where I can actually go out and catch a big enough one. I can catch like 12-inch ones all day, but it's got to be 15 inches in Nebraska in order to keep. I also have somebody who some of you guys might know that I've worked with before who kind of wants to get in on that project. So I have 2 actual videos kind of planned with that. One is going to include Anthony with Unconventional Aquatics, who is doing a good job on the mod game right now. So thank you to him. So we have a project that we're going to work on, and then, you know, the big MF. He and I are going to do another one. So yeah, definitely largemouth video is coming up. Thank you again for all the congrats and on the 10Ks. Yeah, so I see people saying go talk to Ben Milliken. I have, and we're gonna do it. So he's gonna go out and help me get a big enough one. Let's see. I saw somebody else asked what SC stands for. And since you guys are all here, like I said, you're going to get kind of the behind the scenes stuff. So I will share what SC stands for, and it is nothing exciting. It is actually based on an old nickname that I had in high school that when I was setting up the channel, I was like, you know, I'll just throw that in there. SC Fish Keeping. It sounds good. I like it. I can change it later. Well, I never changed it. It just kind of stuck. I get a lot of people that think it stands for South Carolina, and a lot of people comment. They're like, hey, what part of South Carolina are you in? I'm like, I'm in the Nebraska part, and I apologize. But let's see. Scott with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, shooting you $10 to celebrate your 10K. I appreciate you stopping by, Scott. Thank you for the super chat and the kind words. You've always been an awesome supporter, and I really enjoy what you do over on your channel. So thank you for stopping in. And again, thank you for the $10 super chat. Let's see. Can you get a black crappie for the indoor bluegill pond? It's a native down here. Crappie are something that I can get. I have actually thought about crappie. Another thing that I want to do is just kind of really expand the native fish that I keep. Right now I have the Florida gar, which is not technically native to me, but there are gar in Nebraska that I could potentially go out and catch. I see Alex says SC stands for smallmouth and cichlids. I actually like that one a lot better than the other things I've come up with. I've tried to come up with like some things that it could stand for that I would be like, oh, you know, it makes sense. Like, oh, he has some cichlids. But no, smallmouth and cichlids. I like that one. Anyway, so native fish. So I have the bluegill. I have the green sunfish. I have the smallmouth bass, the channel catfish, the bullhead catfish. What else? Oh, and the walleye. I saw somebody else asked about the walleye. I do still have both of those baby walleye. I didn't go out and catch them, but I do have walleye. So I want to expand. I want to try and go get one of the local species of gar. I'm obviously going to do the largemouth. Crappie, I see a ton of people tell me to get perch, and so I would love to go out and get some perch. You know, Anthony with Unconventional Aquatics jokes that I'm trying to become the king of native fish, which I think has a pretty cool ring to it. So I might be just shooting to be the king of native fish and get some shirts made up or something like that. Let's see. Somebody, West Georgia Hunters 22 says, where did you get your blob catfish? I actually got him from my local fish store. And I get that question a lot because the care guide I did on the gulper catfish is one of the most popular videos that I have still. The best way that I think you can actually go get a gulper catfish is you can order it from like Predatory Fins, has them quite a bit, but go to your local fish store. I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but they can order you specific fish. If their supplier will have it, they can actually go out and get it for you. So I went in, I said, hey, this is the fish that I want. They ordered it to me. it saves on the shipping, and then you can actually like check the health of the fish before it comes in. So if you're looking for a gulper catfish, definitely start with a local fish store and see if they can go out and get one for you. Bearski with the $10 super chat, $9.99. I round up a little money for the bait shop. He says, I'm actually going to need some money for the bait shop because I'm working on a little kind of stock tank, minnow pond, feeder pond type thing. See if I can start kind of breeding my own feeders, because those smallmouth, they can make a man go broke with how much they eat. I'll be honest. And then Hawaiian Peacock with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate the support. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of comments. 4G budget fish keeping. Thanks for stopping in. Late. You're on time. Whatever. You're here. That's what's important. I see someone talking about snakeheads. God, snakeheads, that's like the dream, but unfortunately they are illegal to actually have in a tank here. I've like thought of ways that I don't know if you can get permits for anything for stuff like that. But I think if you have fish and you have tanks and stuff like that, then you know how the mindset works. You're like, oh, I have a tank that's this big, but I like fish that are this big. So my plans now are this big. And I'm officially if I go out of frame here, I'm in the plans are this big stage. And like, having a species that's illegal to own, but have the permits and stuff like that would be awesome. Lamborghini Boy says, warning, largemouth bass will eat anything. I tested. They bluegill, shad, snakes, ducks, anything you put in the water, they will eat. Largemouth eat more than smallmouth. For sure. I've definitely done my research on keeping the largemouth. That's one thing that you don't see a whole ton is like, the behind the scenes and the studying and stuff like that. Like, I do a lot of research on all the fish that I own, especially like that lungfish. It took me like 3 months to decide to buy that 2.5 foot lungfish. And I read every document and page and stuff that was out there for lungfish, because I just wanted to make sure that I know. So largemouth, I definitely know what it takes to keep the largemouth. Smallmouth are another one. When I first got the smallmouth, a lot of people said they're super difficult to keep. You're going to kill them. They will die. Well, there was not a whole lot of information on them, keeping them in aquariums out there. But if there was, I found it. And I read up on them. So I will definitely make sure that the largemouth is going into a place where it can't eat any of the smaller or same size fish. So, all right, let's see. Well, Kept Aquatics has got to go back to work. Appreciate you stopping in and hanging out for a little while. Emmanuel IT says, do you have a website you would recommend to purchase fish from? I've done a couple different reviews and a couple that I've had really good luck with. Living Artwork Fish Farms, you can find them on Facebook. They're the ones that I got a few of my fish from. They have been fantastic. The tiger shovel nose I got from them, and then my school of peacock bass that are right here just out of frame I got from them. And I've had fantastic luck with them. They're one of those, they sell bulk. So like, if you're going to get one convict, it's going to be like $50. But then if you get 12, it's going to be like $70, and it's free shipping 24 hours to your door. So, I like them. I've ordered from Predatory Fins. They have really good customer service too. Imperial Tropicals, I've ordered from them. So there's quite a bit. I saw a couple more super chats go by. Anthony with Unconventional Aquatics, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, sir, for that. Definitely appreciate that. And then Chung with the water box says I owe him $5. Well, I will give you your $5 if you're in Chicago. Let's see. Coy Trump supporter says, would give you a super chat before I leave, but PayPal is broken. Love your channel, brother. I appreciate it. It's the thought that counts. Thank you for the support. I see. Let's see. Bernardo Santos says, hey, I just got a 75 gallon. I have a juvenile Oscar in it. What other fish do you recommend? I think one of the best tank mates that you can get for an Oscar is actually what you see getting chased around here. Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey is a fantastic fish for Oscar as far as tank mates go. It's pretty tame for the most part, in my experience at least. And I've actually had some subscribers that I recommended that to say they've had fantastic luck with their Jack Dempsey's. So thank you very much. Let's see. Chung says I should come down to LA and hang. Absolutely, man. One of the things that I really want to do more is get into more of these trips and stuff like that. So I will definitely do that. Sorry, I got a lot of people that are give me 1 second. All right, anyway. Noah Seth says, thoughts on Beischers? I love Beischers. I actually have one actually there. I'm not very good with this whole in a mirror thing. One of just the Senegal Beischers, the basic ones that you can buy from PetSmart or Petco. He was one of the first fish that I bought. I can't find him there. He was one of the first fish that I bought from PetSmart, and he is fantastic. I have an Ornate and a Delhaize as well, and they're awesome. Some of the other ones get really big. These Senegal Beischers, they stay pretty small. So, yeah, I love them. I see a lot of people are complaining about the fact I'm doing a live stream for 10,000 subscribers. Well, I'm sorry that you don't think it's an accomplishment, but I'm proud of it, and I wanted to hang out with some people who also enjoy my channel. Let's see. Matthew Christensen says, how about having Milliken help you get another walleye? The big walleye are hard to keep. All right, hit another person. The big walleye are hard to keep, especially when you catch them wild. They're very, very sensitive fish. Walleye are very, very particular about water parameters and stuff like that. The two small ones that I got, I ordered them in, and they were tank raised since they were not babies, but since they were smaller, so they're a little hardier. So my plan is to grow those two out, but I do want to get something else with Ben that has a lot of teeth that gets bigger. So yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, get them trolls out. Yeah, I hit a couple people, and I appreciate the mods doing that as well. Obviously, if people want to come in here and just give me a hard time, they're more than welcome. I have so many amazing fans, and let me just take this opportunity again, since there's so many more of you in here than when I started. Thank you so much for the support. 10,000 subscribers is something that when I started this channel, I never thought I would hit, especially not in just over a year. So thank you for showing me the support. Every video gets so many comments, so many thumbs up, and so many people just saying that they love the time and effort that I put into my videos. And so that really means the world to me. That's the reason I do it. I love, I love seeing that. This is, a little piece about me here. I love seeing the people that say they share my videos with their family, especially their kids. I have 2 little girls that help me with my videos. They've been in the videos. They love helping me feed and clean. One of them has a tank in her room and stuff. So being able to share my videos with your family when, my family is such a big part, my wife films for me and stuff. That's just a really cool thing for me. So for those of you that do share me with your family, thank you very much. Mel taken off. Thank you, sir, for stopping by. Chung, you were right. I mean, I should have just believed you from the beginning, but it's still nice to actually see it. So Ethan says SC stands for supports children. I do support my children. Another thing that some of you guys might not know about me is I am actually a stay-at-home dad for both of those girls. So that's something that I really enjoy being able to do, is be here with them each and every day. If I miss a video upload, it's probably because they were sick, or sometimes they're 3.5 and 2, so sometimes they make it a little difficult to upload. But Hayden says, I just showed my grandparents your videos, just waiting for the day I walk into Fish Freaks and get to see you. Let me know, man. I would love to meet people out at Fish Freaks. That's the one I go to primarily. So, just shoot me a message on Instagram, and if I'm free, then I'll swing out to Fish Freaks and we can hang out. We can look at fish and talk fish and stuff. Jeremy says, do you still have the snake? I do still have the snake. I thought about actually bringing him down here and just hanging out with him a little bit, but he is all the way upstairs, and Yeah, but he's doing great. He needs a bigger enclosure because he's massive. For those of you that don't know, I bought a ball python and I made a video. And Jeremy has snakes and reptiles and stuff too. So he and I actually connected because the first time I ever held a snake was when I bought the snake. And I was like terrified of snakes before I bought them. So let's see. Robert says, how's the rainbow wolffish doing? Another little inside thing for you guys here. That wolffish actually died. It was the most freak accident that I've ever seen. If you can picture cinder blocks, they're rectangular, but they have holes in the middle. Well, my rack system was stacked up cinder blocks with the 2x4s going across. Well, the wolffish, I had everything covered up on his tank except the little spot where the airline tubing goes in. Well, this wolffish found a way to get up out of the airline tubing, and he went down the center of my cinder blocks. So he fell about 5.5 feet down in the middle of a tower of cinder blocks that were supporting tanks. So if you've seen the videos where I talk about how I blew up my fish room, I had to tear down 4 tanks at 3 a.m. in the morning, take them all down, move all the fish, dig that wolffish out. He was out of the tank for about an hour. I got him in a tank, rinsed him off. He did great for 2 more days and then just was gone. I mean, he was seriously alive, swimming around for 2 days to the point where I was like, oh, I should do like an update on him, tell the story because it's a crazy story, and then walk down and he was gone. And it's crushing because that's always been like a dream fish. That's a fish that I've had, before and it died. And so to get that one and have it die in such kind of a freak way was just, it was hard. So I might still get another one. Long Island Fish Guy has one. And so he, keeps kind of probing me to get more. But yeah, they're jumpers. And when you lose a fish that's just very kind of near and dear to you, something that you're really attached to, it's just, it's hard to kind of dive back in and just get another one. Let's see. Briggs says, hey, Zach, can I keep my red-tailed cat and my peacock bass together in a 55 grow-out tank? They are both about 3 to 4 inches. I'm going to say yes for a few weeks. The red tail, if you've seen him swimming around back here, that red tail I've had for 8 months, and he is pushing 14 inches now. He is going to grow way faster than your peacock bass. I had one of those shovel nose that I got that was probably about 3-4 inches, and he ate one of my 3-inch peacock bass. So I'm going to say yes, but like I said, just be prepared to separate them because your red tail will make a snack of your peacock bass when it grows faster. Let's see. Is the black wallago catfish doing okay? He's doing fantastic, and he is also 10 inches. He's back here. He hides behind that driftwood there. But the black wallago is doing great. I'll kind of use that segue because he's another fish that gets really big. One of my next things that I'm doing, I actually just finished it today. I cleaned out my garage, and you might have seen I kind of posted that I'm thinking about getting another pool pond, like a circular one. Well, so I have the pool pond. It's going in the garage. And then I'm still deciding if we want to do some really big native fish or move things like the arowana and the red tail and do all that kind of out in the garage. So if you have any opinions on that, if you want to see native or tropical fish in the big pool pond, let me know. There's also going to be another pool that goes into the fish room. So there you go. More secret knowledge. Jeremy, $4.99 super chat for the snake enclosure upgrade fund. I appreciate that. I've definitely that's been coming up, making that purchase is not that far away. And then John says, congrats on the 10K with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much. That's also my dad. so thank you for the super chat and the kind words. Let's see. Yeah, Hayden says, I always find that taping the edges of your aquariums works for wolffish. Yes. If I do decide to get another one, that thing is going to be duct tape sealed because I'm not losing another one to jumping out of the tank. Packing tape. Okay, yeah, that's good. Packing tape, that's what I'm going to do. The fishing trucker says, what's the most aggressive fish that you have? I'm going to say the walleye because they will hit a minnow so hard they rip it in half. I did a video on top 5 most aggressive fish that I have. The walleye was number 1, followed by the smallmouth bass. A lot of people said the smallmouth bass should have been number 1, but these walleye are just so hard to film because they hit their bait or their minnows so fast. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Briggs says my red-tailed catfish pretty much tells me when he's hungry because he has this little cave, and wherever he swims out, I feed him. It's kind of funny, and my peacock just eats the same thing. Yeah, you'll see. I mean, you can see him back there. He is hungry. I purposely didn't feed him last night so that way you guys could see just how much of the stuff he's going to eat, and I'll go ahead and feed them in about 5 minutes. Yeah, red tails are super cool. Their personalities are great, but you really got to know what you're getting into in size. This tank is, 5 feet across, and, he just looks huge in there because he is huge. Let's see. What else? Billy Elliott says, hey, Zach, what's your name? It's Zach. Z-A-C, though, for those of you that want to know. Walleyes are bad MFers. Heck yes. Chung says, okay, you talk too much. I got to go edit videos. Congrats on 10K. Go eat some pie. I'm sorry I talk too much. Thank you. Let's see. Otter Creek, what's up, man? He says, which fish has shown the most personality out of any fish that you've kept? That's a good question. A lot of people don't like the wet pet idea, which is like one fish in a tank that, takes up the whole thing. So I really like the wet pet. I'm going to say the flower horns have fantastic personalities and make great wet pets. Mush, the Oscar, and also that big Oscar back there, Moose, he's like 14 inches. Oscars have great personalities. Flower horn, but if I was going to think of something that's kind of a little more obscure, because I think a lot of people will tell you flower horns are Oscars. Smallmouth bass actually have a great personality. Millie swims right up to me every time I go in there, and she's never bit me, but when I stick my hands in the tank, we kind of play. She does let me pet her a little bit too, which is kind of an interesting experience as well. Long Island Fish Guy with the $5 super chat, starter money for the new red wolf fish. Thank you, buddy. I do know a local fish store that has some, so I might have to just go out and suck it up and get another one. So, Rye Thompson says my Oscars and Datnoids have great personalities. I've never had a Datnoid actually, but I've heard good things about them. Otter Creek says I was going to ask which one more between the flower horn and the Oscar. If I had to pick one, I'm going to say the flower horn. You can train those things to do barrel rolls and flips and stuff. So yeah, definitely the flower horn takes the number 1 as far as most personality. Let's see. Michael Hogan with a $10 super chat. Thank you, brother, for that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, everyone that's done the super chats, I did not, do this with the expectation of making money. So thank you very much. Your support really means a lot. I appreciate that. DSR Gaming says, would I be able to put a 2-foot red-tail catfish in a 90-gallon tank? That's an easy one. No. Robert Blackwall, he's doing great. He just hides out back there. He's getting big. Let's see. I saw I should get a striped bass. You're not the first person to tell me that I should get a striped bass. I don't know enough about them. I don't hate the idea of having a largemouth, a smallmouth, peacock, and a striped bass. Kind of just see if we can cover all the bases of bass. So I'll have to look into that and see if that's something that I could do. Let's see. Electro FN says you should go fish with Ben. It's on the agenda. We're going to do that actually next week. So Long Island Fish Guy says Datnoids are beautiful fish. Stay away from silvers. They prefer some salt. I have not had luck with salt, so good to know. Bing Renzo with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir, for that. I really appreciate it. You and your video that you talked about giving back to the fish hobby is actually on my mind a lot. And I found a way that I want to do that. I want to do something where I give back to the supporters that I have and just try and use. It sounds, I feel pretentious saying my influence, but people do watch my videos. And so I want to be able to use that to inspire other people to get back into the hobby or start the hobby like I did with my daughters. So Big Renzo, again, you've inspired me to find ways to give back. So thank you, and thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Nate says, how often do you have to clean your tanks and cycle the water, and how long does a tank? Because you've got a lot of tanks, homie. I do have a lot of tanks. I'm at 22 and a pool. I don't clean my tanks quite as much as I think most other people do. I probably do my water changes once every 10 days. And I really like using Bristol Nose Plecos to keep the algae down, so I don't have to scrub a lot of algae off my tanks. But I do a lot of my stuff like after midnight. So I would say, typical water change time, it takes about 1 to 3 is kind of 2 hours is when I'm feel done and usually ready for bed. I have my Greyhound. Let's see. Damien says, hi, I have a 7-inch red-tailed catfish in a 240-gallon plastic tank. Will that be good for about a year or so? Typically, the more water that you give these red tails, the faster they're going to grow. You can ask Unconventional Aquatics about that, too. He will vouch for how big red tails can get. I don't know how big they get in a year. Like I said, I've had mine for about 8 months, and he was less than 2 inches, and he's pushing 14 now. So depending on the dimensions, you might be close on 2 years. Waldo says, I love your channel. Thank you, sir. Can you do more updates on the gulper and the walleye? Absolutely. One thing that I've kind of fallen out of is doing things like care guides and just more of the informational stuff, and I want to kind of get back into that. One of my next videos is actually going to be a care guide on that big old lungfish, doing some hand feeding, and the first time he ate, he did something that was very, very strange. Their eyes like disappear. So I want to get back into more of the care guides, kind of go from there. Let's see. Waldo, I'm trying not to skip over your questions. There's just a lot. You said get a yellow perch. I definitely want to get a perch. So I will get a yellow perch as an apology for missing your questions. But I appreciate you. Just keep commenting, keep going. Let's see. Jeremy says the Cabela's by my house has a red-tailed catfish that's like 4 feet long. Yeah, that's insane. This guy's growing. I'm going to stop trying to point. He's growing so fast. It's ridiculous. Sheldon says, hello from Sioux City. I love your channel. Love all the fish, especially the lungfish. Thank you. Like I said, I'm going to be doing like a hand feeding and kind of care guide on him. Nate says, so are your filters just super good? Because I would love having more than one tank. Just thought it would be too much maintenance. I still want to get my native tank going, but time and money is hard to have. Yeah, time and money is hard for, I think, anybody that has aquariums. But yeah, I try and over-filter my tanks. Like this 125 has an FX6 on it. That 125 has an FX6 on it. I use pretty high-powered air pumps and sponge filters on all my tanks on the racks. So let's see. Again, if I'm skipping your stuff, I apologize. Hayden says, what is more important factor when buying tanks, surface area or gallonage? That's a good question. One I've never actually thought about. But I would say, obviously it depends on the fish. But to me, one of the best tanks that you can buy if you're trying to grow anything out is a 40-gallon breeder, and that's because it's deeper than a 55. And so for me, I had that Arowana. I grew him out in that tank for a really long time. And it was because he had more space to swim this way and he didn't need as much of the vertical. So depending on the fish, I'm probably going to say surface area, just because one of the biggest issues that you have with your fish when they outgrow their tank is they can't turn around. So I'm going to say that. Let's see. Waldo says there's some crappies for sale on Jonah's Aquarium. Why don't you put those in the tank with the perch? Yeah, more inside information for you. So rearranging the fish room, and I'm going to have a rack of 55s and then 2 pools in there. And so I'm going to do some of the tanks, the 55s for native fish. So I've ordered from them a few times. I'll have to do another peruse of their website. Let's see. Ethan Day says, hey, I just caught a big crappie and he won't eat. Do you have any suggestions to make him eat or what he's with? Because he's with 2 bluegills. It's a really big tank, so he has space. Wild caught fish, you're going to have a really hard time getting to eat, just kind of in general. If he was wild, he was eating live. So find a bait shop or like a Shields, if you have like a Shields that does minnows, and try some of the minnows. Unconventional Aquatics, he had a really big crappie. So I don't know, Anthony, if you can, if you have any suggestions for him on getting fish or getting a big old crappie to eat. John with another $9.99 super chat says from WS, which is my mom. So thank you to both of my parents for being in the live stream. Rice says he just ordered some from Jonah's Aquariums. Yeah, if you want native fish, look at Jonah's Aquariums. That's where I got the walleye, and actually that Florida gar came from him too. And they have really good prices on all that stuff too. So if you want native fish, I got the bullhead from them, from them too. Yeah, Ethan, use a cast net and get some minnows and see if that helps. And then with the crappie, Anthony says he had to starve his crappie out for a week, and then he would finally take some shrimp. That's actually the best way to get any fish to switch foods, is just starve them. Lil Pump says, how's the bullhead? The yellow bullhead is doing great. He's still back in the pond. And then I have the brown bullhead that I moved also into the pond. That pond is bluegill, 2 bullheads, and 2 massive jaguar cichlids, which I didn't really think was going to work, but I threw them in there and they look fantastic. So W. Jordan says, have a great night, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I've seen you in the comments section quite a bit lately, so thank you very much. And you're right, I do have an awesome mom and dad. Let's see. Christopher Conley says, are you going to be getting that big pool for a pool pond? Yes, it's sitting upstairs. So I just got to open it and keep that going. Chris wants to know when the bloodworm feeding with the peacock bass is going to drop soon, because they're big, they eat a lot, and they're actually starting to color up. So I'll do an update on them here shortly as well. Let's see. I see another good tank mates for Oscars. Jack Dempsey's make really good tank mates. They're probably my number one go-to as long as you have the space for 2 bigger cichlids like that. Firemouth cichlids, convict cichlids, certain kind of catfish do really well with Oscars too. But if you're looking for another really, really pretty fish that can kind of hang with the Oscar, definitely go with the Jack Dempsey's. Bill Gates says, love your channel, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, Joshua Lee saying Jack Dempsey's as well. So DSR Gaming says, what kind of tank should I put my 2-foot redtail in? You got to have enough room for him to turn. If you could get anything that was square, that would be awesome. If you could do a pool, like a pool pond or actually an outdoor pond, that's going to be what I recommend for a 2-foot redtail. This guy over there is eventually going to be going into a pool because that's what they need. So the Jags are, one is about 12 inches and the other one's about 10 inches. They're very big. Then I'll take another question, and then I'm going to drop some food in there because, as you can see, the redtail is looking. So what fish would you recommend for a 55-gallon tank? It really depends on what you want. I mean, it's hard to just kind of give a blanket like one fish because the fish that I would keep are weird. In my 55s right now, I have those pikehead crocodile fish are in a 55. I have my Giardini arowana, 2 tiger shovel nose, a Beischer, and my zebra knife, all kind of growing out in another 55. But yeah, angelfish, like an angelfish school would be a really good option for a 55 too if you want something that's a little more peaceful. And then how many gallons of water do you think is in your fish room? Oh, that's hard to say. 900 right now before adding another pool. Science Gal Aquatic says, congrats again. Excited for more fish chat in Chicago. Oh, awesome. So you are going to Chicago. I meant to ask you that. But cool. So Chicago, for those of you that don't know, Aquashella is in Chicago. I don't remember the dates that I have off the top, or that they are off the top of my head, but I'm going to be going. So if anybody's in the area, let me know. We can meet up at Aquashella. We're going to do some, I'm going to tour some fish stores and stuff there too. So Briggs says feed the fish already. And Toke says, can we message you on Instagram if you have unanswered questions? Absolutely. If one of the moderators can put my Instagram up, follow me there if you're not already. So I'll just drop all this food in. This is just, I use cut up tilapia, and there's a lot of different size fish in here, but they all eat it. So I just have to cut it up small. But let's feed them. I mean, I don't know how much you can see because I'm still using the webcam attached and not the one that I can actually move over. But Walla goes back there, so I got to kind of throw some. Arowana got a piece. Gar's got his big old piece. My super high-tech lid. So there you go. Yeah, red tail sucks up about half of that, and then the rest kind of go around. I mean, the gar got a big old piece. The arowana swims around and takes it off the bottom. Red tail's going to grab another piece and another piece. But yeah, so Aquashella, the 28th and 29th. Priscilla, thank you for putting up the Instagram. Yeah, I talk to a lot of people on Instagram. I try and get to them as much as I can. So if you have unanswered questions or anything like that, just shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll get to it when I can. Emmanuel says, ever had silver dollars? I have not, but that's something that I would like, because they actually make really good tank mates for Oscars and some of your bigger stuff too. Joseph with JH Aquatics, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm ready for Aquashella too. Aquashella Dallas was great. I met a lot of really great people down there. We did local fish store tours and stuff, and it was just a fantastic time. So I'm really excited to get out there and do all that again. Multi-tank addiction, thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. Thomas Krigler, where's my girl Millie? She's in the other room. If you've ever been in one of my 2 live streams before, then you know that I used to do it on my phone, and I had really bad internet issues and stuff. And so now I have all that obviously fixed, but we're out here until I can find a more kind of mobile way to do some more feedings and stuff like that. Let's see. J-Rock says, where's it going to be at in Chicago? I know it's not in the downtown area, but it's close. If anybody knows the actual city that it's in or the suburbs, drop it in there. Waldo wants to know why I don't keep any discus. I've kept discus in the past before I had the channel. I didn't find them to be as hard as a lot of people make them out to be. I had just a discus tank for about 6 months, ended up losing one of them, and then just kind of got paranoid about losing the rest of them. And so I moved on from them. Discus are amazing fish. And if I had, I wouldn't be opposed to getting back into them. So let's see. First Light Fishing says, when are you coming to Philadelphia? I have no plans, but I'm not opposed to it. I've never been to Philadelphia. If they have decent fish stores, I'll probably go there. Kevin says, realistically, how fast do arowana grow? I got this guy 8 months ago, and he's doubled in size. He was about 7 inches when I got him, and he is 15 inches right now. So there are like growth charts that you can see kind of, you know, in 2 months, expect this and stuff. I don't know that stuff off the top of my head. Let's see. Yeah, if I'm trying to just make sure I read all the questions and stuff. What predatory fish would you recommend for a 55-gallon tank? It's tricky. A lot of my predatory fish get bigger than a 55-gallon tank. There's a lot of really cool predatory fish that you could keep in a 55-gallon, but could actually do smaller, like the rainbow wolffish or the red wolffish does well. Those pikehead crocodile fish that I got in my last video, you can put those in a 55-gallon. There's a few. I mean, I really just use 55 gallons as like grow outs. But with this new setup that I have going in the fish room, I will be doing some that'll stay there permanently because I can't just dump everything that I have in a pool. Let's see. Yeah, Multi-Tank Addiction says silver arowana is also the largest arowana. Yeah, those things can get to like 4 feet. So before you buy a silver arowana, just expect that. And you need a lid. They jump. This guy gets spooked so easily, he hits that lid. All right, there's John says Aquashella, Niles, Illinois. Foxtrot Tango Whiskey says, how's the indoor pool doing? It's good. I haven't really made any changes to the filter yet, but I fixed the part that was leaking. For those of you that don't know, I put about 400 gallons of water on my floor because my Uniseal on my trash can filter popped out and flooded the fish room. But that's going to be going up to the pool that's in the garage because it's a lot harder to flood a garage. And so then I'll be doing some more DIY different filters that won't leak for the pool down in the fish room. Ever thought about getting an Arapaima? I have a buddy that has Arapaima, and they grow so fast. I wouldn't get an Arapaima as much as I would want to just because, you know, even with a 1,200-gallon pool in my garage, that's not big enough. And I don't have an outlet for that. And I don't want to be running fish to the Ohio Fish Rescue just because I like the idea of buying them when they're small and then outgrowing them. Kevin says, do you have any pike cichlids? I have a red pike. I had a dwarf pike cichlid that was awesome. But other than that, I haven't had the bigger ones. I probably should look into them because they're kind of a good cross between like the native fish and like the tropical fish. So yeah, I'll have to look into pikes. That's a good suggestion. Joshua Lee says, Zach, would your local fish store be able to get any native fish and also a native fish from Korea by any chance? It depends on the fish and it depends on the supplier. As far as native fish, I just use Jonah's Aquarium. I've never tried talking to them about getting like a bluegill or, you know, a bass or anything like that, and I've never seen them there. The Fishing Trucker says northern pike. Maybe. Yeah, Long Island Fish Guy says Arapaima shouldn't be in the hobby. I don't necessarily. I see a lot of people say fish like red tails and stuff like that shouldn't be in the hobby. I don't know if I necessarily agree that fish shouldn't be in the hobby. I just think there needs to be way more information and knowledge and research that goes into buying these fish before they're bought. Like the fact that Petco sells red tails and tiger shovel nose and stuff like that baffles me. I did that video on them selling Fahaka puffers, and those get to 18 inches, but red tails get so much bigger. I just wish that like places that sold it had to have like mandatory training on that type of fish so that they can educate the people that are looking at them better. Multi-Tank Addiction says pizza's here, gotta go. Enjoy your pizza, sir. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the kind words. How hard is it to get a Giardini arowana in America? Because it's almost impossible here in Australia without catching. They're pretty uncommon, but it's not impossible. They're super expensive. I mean, even a 3-inch Giardini arowana at a local fish store, at least around me, goes for like $120. So yeah, they're very, very hard to get. Briggs says, once I bought a Fahaka from Petco and it died a day later. Yeah, the puffers like that, they're tough. I'm lucky. Priscilla, if she's still kind of hanging out, moderating here, she's like a puffer expert. So I asked her a ton of questions after I got those puffers, and she really helped me make sure that you treat for worms and parasites and stuff like that. They're great fish, but you need to, when you buy them, you need to do some special treatments and care to make sure that they're going to be a great fish for a long time. Dr. S says there was a Giardini arowana at my LFS. How big was it, and how much were they charging? Just because I'm curious. Let's see. I'll be doing 3 dwarf Congos and a 29 tall soon. We're super excited. Dwarf Congos are cool too. There's a lot of schooling fish that I just don't keep, but I really, really love and appreciate. And like the Congo tetras are like that too. JB Gaming says, what's your favorite fish? That's hard. I'm going to actually say the Giardini arowana right now, or the peacock bass, but Giardini arowana, because when I first really started to get into the hobby and doing fish keeping, I had a 29-gallon tank, and my wife, for a Christmas present, bought me a Giardini arowana, and it was super small. I kind of fattened it up, and I grew it to about 7 inches, and then I put a blood parrot in with it, and the blood parrot killed the Giardini arowana, which, if you know about blood parrots, that seems weird, but if you've ever thought about why I don't have blood parrots, it's because they killed my favorite fish, and therefore I will never be getting another one. Let's see, that Giardini was about 6 to 7 inches. Pretty sure it was around $150, $200. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like I said, about a 3-inch one at my LFS goes for about $120, and then going up from there. I mean, they get pricey. Making Magic Fishing says, would you keep trout? I looked into trout just because they're one of those like unique native fish, and I like doing things that people on YouTube aren't doing. Trout are super, super hard to keep in an aquarium. They need really, really cold water. They need really fast moving current, and they're very sensitive. So it's just one of those the setup to make trout actually work would be ridiculously expensive. And in case you can't tell, I have like clamp lights for lighting on a tank. So I don't have trout aquarium money. Let's see. Joe Layton says, can you put fish that you catch as babies and put them in your aquarium until they get too big and put them back in the waters you got them from? You're not supposed to. A lot of places it's actually illegal to do that, especially if it's considered like an invasive species. But the biggest issue that you're going to run into is, especially when you get them as babies, they're going to grow up being comfortable, being fed by you, not having to hunt, not having to really look for their food. But as soon as you return them to the water, they're not going to know how to do that. So they'll either starve or they'll become prey really, really quickly. One of the things that I looked into, like when I got this Florida gar, was if he ever got too big or if I had a problem with him, places like Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's or like a zoo will sometimes take your fish. So you can look at something like that if you did want to get like a largemouth or whatever, raise it up, and then if you got to a point where you can't take it, find a place that actually has native fish. Let's see. Kevin's Aquarium says get like 12 wave makers and a water chiller. I'm assuming that's for trout. Get like a river. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. Thomas says, will you help me convince my girlfriend to let me get a big tank for bass? Yes. I know her personally because he's my cousin. That's not weird. Yes, I will text her after the live stream and say, TJ needs a tank for bass. That'd be cool. I'd come out there and help you catch that and set that up. Let's see. Alien World Aquatics, thanks for jumping in, man. And thank you for the congrats on the 10K. I appreciate that. DG says it's illegal in a lot of places to keep natives. That is true. If you are thinking about getting native fish, make sure that you look up like your fishing, your parks, whatever. rules and regulations. Nebraska actually really doesn't have any fish like specifically for the state that are legal to keep. You can't keep the things that are just illegal like in the country, like Asian arowanas and snakeheads. You can't keep stuff like that. I don't know though if you like bought a native fish from Jonah's Aquariums and had it like shipped in, if that would be okay to keep. But yeah, just look up your rules and regulations before getting into native fish. For me, with this largemouth that I'm going to go catch and keep, the keeper limit or the size in Nebraska is 15 inches. So as long as I go out and catch one that's over 15 inches, then I'm good to kind of do whatever with. Which, not a rant, but I think it's weird that places would not allow you to keep a certain fish, but you could go catch it and like eat it. So Melissa Graves says, with your name, would have thought you'd be in SC or in South Carolina. Yeah, I kind of touched on that earlier. SC is just based on an old nickname that I had, and I set the channel name when I didn't think that it was gonna stick. So that's my bad. Let's see. Android Zane says, can we put an electric blue Acara in with discus? I think you could be okay with that. Discus are cichlids, and the electric blue Acara is not an overly aggressive cichlid. The thing I always say with fish keeping is try it, but have a better backup plan. So put it in there. If it doesn't work, then just have another tank or someone that can take it off your hands. Let's see. Lissa says, would have been cool, though. By the way, I live in South Carolina. Yeah, I've had a lot of people really disappointed by that. They're like, hey, would love to meet up with you. What part of South Carolina are you in? And I'm like, the Nebraska part. I'm sorry. So, yeah, maybe I should just make a shirt that says, like, not from South Carolina. J-Rock says, thoughts on black diamond sand. Personally, I've never used it. I've read that it's okay to use, though. I use pool filter sand or playground sand because it's like playground sand is like $3 a bag, and it kind of gives a little more natural look to it. So that's just me. I like the playground sand. I have been starting to use like the black sand you get from like PetSmart, just because I think the black sand with the green fake plants, because I use fake plants, looks really good. So that'd be a funny shirt. I'm not from South Carolina. Briggs says, would you ever consider getting a fire eel or a rope fish? Fire eel is another fish that I just have not had great luck with. I've had a couple of them, and I quarantine them, put them in a tank that's well established with other fish, and they just, after a month or so, just kind of go belly up. I think my issue is I try and buy so many fish small. I love buying the baby fish and growing them out. And I think with a fire eel like that, I would just need to buy a bigger one that's a little hardier than some of these babies, because I buy them when they're, tiny. But Priscilla says, great stream. Congrats on the 10K. Thank you. And thank you very much for being a mod and getting here. I know you just got off of work. So as far as rope fish go, I love rope fish. I know a gal that has rope fish and has like tons of knowledge and information on rope fish. It's one that I kind of feel I can live vicariously through other people that have rope fish. The Beischer that's hanging out here is just kind of like a short body rope fish. Their faces look the same. So, yeah. So I probably won't get a rope fish just for that reason, unless maybe I get into more of like a community tank. Christopher, thank you for the congratulations. Jeff says, I just rehomed my fire eel to a local fish rescue. He was getting too big for my 75. He was 22 inches plus. Yeah, they get big, but they are gorgeous and amazing fish. They have really good personalities too. Small Gator says, buy some SC merch to rep your favorite YouTuber. That is, I appreciate him dropping that. I do have t-shirts on Teespring. I've tried to keep the prices down so that if people are interested in buying some stuff, you can do that. He shared the link. With super chats, with the money that I make from my videos through the advertising and the Teespring, all all that money just goes back into my fish, goes back into the channel. So for, the 75 people watching, just know that all the support that you give me watching my videos and stuff like that, all that does go into the fish and, upgrading my camera so you guys can get some better pictures of them, buying another camera when I dropped the first camera that I bought into a bucket of water. So, so just thank you. Again, thank you for the 10,000 subscribers. We are hitting the hour mark. We'll probably let's do another 10 minutes or so on this, and then I will wrap it up. So just know that all the money that I'm making because of your support is going back into the channel, into the fish, to just keep, thanking you guys for everything that you do. Is that an Oscar behind me there? Yes. That is actually the first big fish I ever bought. I've had him for over 4 years. His name is Moose. He is like a 14-inch tiger Oscar, and he's a beast. I love Oscars. So let's see. Waldo says, what's an easy fish for beginners to put in a 25-gallon aquarium? Again, depends on your preference. I love tiger barbs. Tiger barbs are really cool schooling fish. You could do like an angelfish for a little while. If you wanted like an aggressive kind of predator, a rainbow wolffish could do all right in a 25-gallon. Those pikehead crocodile fish, they're like a 30-gallon would be great. Let's see. Big Mike says, what would you keep with angelfish? A pistogramma, like small cichlids like that, would be cool. I used to keep my angels with like German blue rams and gold rams. A lot of your neon tetras and stuff like that would make great tank mates. I've always thought of an angelfish tank. Your angels should be kind of the showcase, and then you get things like Cory catfish that hang on the bottom and a schooling fish that kind of hangs out around them. Kevin says, what do you use to edit your videos? I use Filmora. I'm a big, supporter of that. I started editing on my phone with a free app, and then I paid for an app that was like $5, and then now I'm on a desktop with Filmora and stuff like that. So, the fishing trucker says, does the playground sand need any special prep? Just wash it. It's super dusty. If you ever put playground sand in an aquarium without washing it, you're just going to get like soupy brown water. So just stick it in a bucket, run your hose into the bucket for 10, 15 minutes. When it runs clear, you're good to go. Let's see. Nate says, you're a hell of a guy, buddy. You did not delay when I had questions on buying my daughter's fish for her birthday. Glad I found your channel. Thanks, man. You've been supporting me for a while, and I was very happy that you shared that those questions and that experience with me. I'm glad that she loved that tank. Let's see. Jeff says, hey, Zach, congrats on 10K. Sorry, ran late catching the live. Thank you for showing up when you did. I appreciate it. Sugary says, congrats on 10K, $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. You've also been supporting me for a while, so thank you very much for all the comments and all the support. Alien World Aquatics says, have you ever kept Crebensis? I have. I had a group of 5 of them. One was an albino female and then a couple smaller males. I was hoping that would be one that I could get to breed because I know they are pretty easy to breed, but I kept changing fish and I kept having to move them around. And I eventually got to the point where I just felt bad that I was moving them around so much. I don't like to move fish from tank to tank. So I just took them to my local fish store and turned them over to them so that someone could give them a better home. Connor says, love your vids. Huge fan, brother. Thank you very much. Fishing Trucker says, thank you for all the videos. Very inspiring. And then Rip Opportunity, you have a lot of potentially big fish. What are you going to do with them once they get huge? I do have a lot of big fish, but I also have a lot of space and I have pools. So ponds, pools, stuff like that. If you guys, talk to Unconventional Aquatics enough, he just built a fantastic wooden pond on his channel, which if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. And he's got a giant tilapia in there. So, definitely check him out if you haven't. But if you guys go to his videos and comment and say, hey, go build Zach with SC Fish Keeping a big enough pond or a bigger pond, then let's fly him up here. And then he and I are going to build some massive 3,000-gallon wooden thing. No pressure, Anthony. Let's see. Emma says, I've got a 4-month-old green spotted pufferfish, and I want to keep mollies with him. Will he think they're food? He might take nips out of them. They're pretty aggressive fish. They do need to slowly get to brackish and eventually like full saltwater, but mollies, to my knowledge, can also handle some brackish water. So that's a decent tank mate for them. As long as you have a big enough tank and enough kind of sightline breakups and stuff like driftwood and plants and stuff like that, you might be okay. Again, my favorite saying in this hobby is try it out. If it doesn't work, have a better backup plan. Unconventional says, let's do it. So there you go. You guys all saw it here. He's going to fly up here and build like a massive wooden pond. So then we'll put big stuff like that in it. 10,000 gallon wooden pond in your master bedroom. My wife's actually working right now, so she's not watching the stream to where she could say no to that idea. So I'm all for it. It's on the second floor though. So we might need to like put some really heavy supports underneath it, but that's just my dining room. So I don't need that. Let's see. Yeah, more congrats on hitting 10K. Thank you. Again, when those numbers just kept building and stuff like that, when I was really early on, I was just like, there's no way 100 people want to watch what I'm doing. There's no way 1,000 people want to watch what I'm doing. And now I definitely don't believe that there's 10,000 people that want to watch what I'm doing, but there's 70 of you right now that are sitting here watching me ramble into a camera in my basement. So thank you again for all the support. Every comment, every like, every share, all that stuff means so much to me. Every super chat means so much. You guys are awesome. And I put this in my community tab, and it sounds cheesy or cliche to say, but I really do think that I have some of the best subscribers on YouTube. You guys give me so much support on every single video. You have so many good things to say. A lot of you say that I'm underrated, and that stuff is just, makes my week hearing that stuff like that. So I love each and every one of you. Thank you all for all the support that you give me. I'm going to keep doing this for as long as you guys want to see the videos. So thank you. All right, I'll do a couple more questions, and then we should probably start wrapping this one up. Haley with Oddball Aquatics, she's the one that has the rope fish that I was talking about. Says, congrats, bro. Working, but wanted to say congrats. Thank you very much. Haley, people were asking if I would ever get rope fish, and I said that you are the expert on rope fish, and I live vicariously through your rope fish. So if you want to know more about rope fish, go check her out. DJ says, who's cutting onions? I know, tears. Ethan says, been your fan for 20 years. He's my brother, so he's not lying. Let's see. Question on rainbow wolffish. There are some other wolffish that get 2 feet. Do rainbow wolffish get the same size? No, rainbow wolffish max out at 8 inches. So they're a fantastic fish for a smaller predator. So 30 gallons is really all they need. Do a heavily planted tank or fake plants with a lot of driftwood, whatever, and watch those guys thrive. Tell Lucas I said hello. He's been commenting on more of my videos, which is awesome. I love what you guys are doing up there. So thank you very much to them. Chris says, I subscribed when you had just under 800 subs. What a journey. You're telling me, man. So, yes. But so we're about to hit that hour and 10. That's longer than I expected, but still 70 people in here. 86 thumbs up is what it looks like. Let's see. What's your favorite fish? Giardini arowana. I talked about that one earlier. Have you ever considered doing a darter tank? Yes, because Jonah's Aquarium sells darters, and they're a cool native fish for smaller tanks. 4G Budget Fish Keeping says, you're such an inspiration. Thank you, man. I've always appreciated all your kind words and support. Long Island Fish Guy says, I won't sleep until we get 100 likes. So we're at 93. So 7 more, 100 likes. Let's see. What should we do if this hits 100 likes? I have an idea where I'm going to get one of my fish tattooed on me. So there's that. But I'm not doing that for 100 likes because that's already in the plan. Can't wait for my fish tank to cycle soon. Just set it up today. That's awesome. Nothing more exciting than new tank. TJ with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. He bought a shirt, and so he has shown me some support by buying that. Thank you very much. Fox News is picking this up. Unconventional says fly to Florida for 100 likes, and we're now at 103. So should I? All right, I'll fly to Florida. Let's see. Anthony, what's your schedule look like in a couple months? Let's get that in the books. But yeah, so yeah, I am going to actually fly down to Florida and do some videos with Unconventional Aquatics. So if you guys are excited for that, I'm excited for that. Yeah, use the hashtag buy the red wolf fish so Zach buys it. I'll tell you what, for 100 likes, I will buy another red wolf fish and I will set that tank up. I'll share the whole story with how I lost the last one. So I will buy another red wolf fish because we hit 100 and something likes in this one. $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Let's see. Joe says, ever thought about keeping trout? Talked about that too. Trout are very difficult to keep, and you need some very expensive equipment that I don't have the money for. Joshua Lee says, am I invited to Florida? I want to learn more about the hobby in general. Sure, man. Shoot me a message on Instagram too if you have any questions or anything like that. Briggs, ever consider a piranha tank? What do you think, Bearski? Should I get some piranha? Bearski says I should get piranha, then I'll get piranha. Jeff's taking off. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping this one up soon. I feel like now I'm just kind of rambling it. Fishing NorCal says, how hard is it to keep a bullhead and how big of a tank? Bullhead are super hardy. Mine eats minnows, he eats shrimp, tilapia, all kinds of stuff. So they're a very easy fish to feed. As far as the size go, I don't know off the top of my head, but definitely one that I would keep. So Bearski says piranhas always. So we'll just go ahead and throw that in the old shopping cart. I'll find a piranha tank to get set up. But TJ with the $9.99 super chat. Said he was one-upped by the $5 super chat. So thank you for the $9.99 super chat. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for taking the time to celebrate 10,000 subscribers with me and just spend your evening with me. I hope I've made it clear how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for everyone that's been here. Thank you for the mods. Check out some new channels. Shoot me a message on Instagram if you have any other questions that I did not get to tonight, or if you just want to, know more information about me or the fish, whatever. Smog Eater with the Teespring link, so buy some merch. I appreciate that, but I hope you guys are going to enjoy the rest of your night, and until the next video, I will see you soon. $12 super chat. Thomas was one-upped. Good night, guys.